All right, going in three, two, one.
Cheers. Woo! Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending where you are when you're listening to this, when we upload it. You know the gist. My name is Josh Jacko, and I'm your host for This Week in Sports with my producer, Caleb, my brother. He's on the ones and twos. Let's get right down to it. Our ladies in Tokyo Olympics 2020 are killing it. I'm pretty sure still at this point, all the Olympic medals that Team Canada has won have been from the ladies, from the women's side. They just won a bronze in rowing, double bronze medal in women's pair rowing final. That's Canada's 10th medal of the games. This is day 6 in Tokyo, so good on them. We're killing it in the pool. Penny Oleksiak and her girls, we're cleaning up. We're cleaning up in the pool. That's where most of our medals have come from. And you got to be proud to be Canadian when you see such success. I mean, it's nowhere near what China and the States are doing. They're always just so many medals that they get. But Canada's doing all right, and I'm loving it. Yeah, so Canada's killing it as well as Canada does. And I was thinking about why we're so good at swimming and pool sports. It's because that's one sport that we can actually, as Canadians, practice year round. In the winter, you can go into the pool, right? You can go swimming all year, no matter what. Opposed to some of these other sports where it's actually outdoors and we only have summer for so long. That's why some of these other countries that have a warmer climate, they're so much better at a lot of sports because they're able to practice year round. But the one sport that we can practice year round is swimming, right? Because we can be in the pool all year. So that's why these ladies are killing it. Oh, I love seeing them pulling medals. It's kind of weird though, it being in Tokyo because it's a 15-hour difference, right? So right now it's midday there, right? What time we got here? Yeah, it's midday there. So it's like 10. It's like 2 o'clock, 3 p.m. there. So it's like prime time. I was just watching golf, which actually is only the second time they've had it in the Olympics in like the last 100 years, which is crazy. It's like golf is like the one sport around the world that everyone plays during the. Yeah, see it's 1 o'clock in Tokyo as we record this, 1 p.m. So it's kind of trippy. Like all the events take place in the middle of the night here, and when it's middle of the night here, it's like prime time in Tokyo. So I've found myself the last few nights just falling asleep with the Olympics on, watching live events, which kind of has me curious as to like these big main events, when they're going to do them, like the track and field, when the track and field gets down to it.
Yeah.
I don't know when they're going to do it because they have to appeal to the entire world. But it also can't be like middle of the day. So I don't know. I can't wait. The premier sports for me in the Olympics, besides like the major sports that we have here, like baseball and whatnot, are track and field events. Like I love the relay, the 4x100 relay. That shit's always exciting. And obviously the 100-meter final. And we have the potential to have the fastest man in the world, Andre DeGrasse. You'll hear that name coming up in the next couple weeks over the course of the Olympics. Andre DeGrasse, he was running stride for stride with Usain Bolt in the previous Olympics, and so much younger than Usain. Usain's done, right? He's obviously done. He was the champion for, I think it was three Olympics. He was the champion for 12 years. Was untouchable. But now the torch is passed to anyone who really wants it. Andre DeGrasse, like I said, last Olympics, he ran stride for stride with Usain Bolt. I think it was the 200 meter that he did that. And but that's still I think about a week and a half away until they get to that point where the track and field is getting to the finals and whatnot. But yeah, ladies won in softball. They beat the Mexicans for the bronze medal in softball, which is crazy. So proud of them. I guess softball was absent from the Olympics for quite some time, which is also crazy to think. Softball, golf, these sports that are not in the summer games for some reason. There's some new sports though this summer games. Skateboarding is one of them. That one already took place. 13-year-old kids were champions.
What?
Yeah. So good on them. None from Canada, but good on them. Just kids going to the Olympics. They don't even know how significant it is. I don't think. Right?
They probably won't know until they're much older.
Until they're much older, exactly. And they're like, "Holy shit! I went to the Olympics and I won a medal."
Yeah.
Like what? And the first time ever them having skateboarding. Also, for the first time, I was watching it last night. Actually, surfing, which is pretty cool. Surfing was awesome to watch.
That's crazy. They do it in the in
the ocean. They do it in the ocean.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. And some of these waves they weren't like huge waves, but they were good enough. And I was like, I was learning along with so many people that were watching it because it's the first time it's in the Olympics, like the scoring system. I learned a lot just by watching it. And surfing. I've had a few opportunities to try. I just said no because I could imagine how hard that shit is, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't even skateboard. I can't even stay on a fucking skateboard, let alone a fucking surfboard. Right? I'm sure I'll try one of these days, but shit, that's hard. Like when I went to Australia, everyone surfs, right? Like it's not everyone, but like it's such a huge thing, so common. And I had a chance to do that there a couple times. Also in the Dominican Republic, I prefer going under in scuba gear. That's my shit. Scuba diving is the shit. So, and with that said, like all y'all listening, scuba diving should be on your bucket list because it's the most amazing experience probably of my life. I think scuba diving feels like you're in a different world when you duck your head under there. So surfing was another new sport, and then there was one more that there was another new sport, one more new sport that they had this Olympics. I don't remember which one it was, but I do remember what's coming up in Paris next Olympics, next Summer Olympics. They're going to be introducing breakdancing as an Olympic sport. Yeah,
that's actually sick.
That's dope, right?
Yeah.
And I love watching breakdancers. A few of my performances back in the day, actually several of them back in the day, incorporated breakdancers. So we'd spit some hip hop or whatever, and then there'd be breakdancers as well, just giving it, right? Oh, it's so impressive what they do, and the fact that that's actually becoming an Olympic sport, that's awesome. It kind of just shows you the direction the Olympics are going in, right? They got to appeal to the younger generation, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So they're reinventing what sports. They're not reinventing the sports, but they're reinventing what sports they put into the Olympic Games, and so mad respect for that. Yeah. So in conclusion, the Tokyo Olympics, the ladies are cleaning up. Hopefully, the men can pick it up a little bit and add to the medal totals as it stands right now. I think we have 10 medals in total. So it's not like we're just some washed up country or something that can't put on. And especially for a country that has like winter half the year, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. If you look at these other cold countries, like you don't see Finland. You don't see Finland in the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I was gonna say half the year is kind of generous. Like we're like 2/3 of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Here, yeah, well, especially here, like in Edmonton, shit. Like, in fact, it's gonna be fucking snowing next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you see Finland in the Summer Olympics or in the Winter Olympics all the time, right? You see Sweden all the time. You don't see these fucks in the Summer Olympics, right? Same goes for like down south, like Chile and like Argentina and shit. You don't see them in the Summer Olympics that much. So the fact that the Great White North is putting on, that's mad respect to our athletes, and makes me proud to be Canadian and to represent. So go Canada, go! Keep bringing in those medals. There's potential for some more medals in the pool. I think it's tomorrow. Penny Alexiak is going to go for her 7th Olympic medal already. She's only like 21, this chick, and she's already she's got 6 medals, 6 Olympic medals already.
Wow.
One of the best swimmers in the entire world. And she goes in another final tomorrow. That might be today, depending when we record or upload this or whatever. Or when you listen to this, it might have already happened. Who knows?
So what's our medal count at?
It's at 10. We got two gold, so two Olympic champions from Canada. One was in weightlifting, another chick.
Nice.
Yeah, weightlifting. It was like 236 kilos or some
For
shit.
gold?
For gold.
Oh my
230,
gosh,
236 kilos this chick fucking lifted.
I gotta look that up.
236 kilos. How much? That's like 600 pounds almost.
It's like a small car.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
This chick like lifted over her head. And then the other one was I think it was in the pool, the other Olympic champion. And yeah, we had 3 silvers and 5 bronze as it stands right now. But this might change. This probably will change by the time
The day's up.
people. Yeah, by the day's up because it's midday in Tokyo, and China's killing it. They have 29 total medals. They have 14 gold. That's how they do it. They do it by the gold, right? That's how they do the standings.
Yeah.
United States has 13 gold, a total of 36 medals.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck, if we had the money the States does to throw at their fucking athletes, man.
Yeah.
Shit. They also have like 10 times more population and 10 times more probability of having like a great athlete.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's why China's all the way up there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
10 times the population of the states.
Of the States.
Yeah.
More than that.
Yeah, that's
Right?
crazy.
It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, no, not 10 times. If there was 10 times, it'd be 4 billion, right?
Right.
I don't know. None of us know how to do math. Would it be 4 billion?
Yeah.
400 million times 10?
Or yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah? Sure? Maybe?
Yeah, it would be. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I just did the math. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they have half that. So they have
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Shout out to Japan, though, the host country, in the top 3 with 13 champions, which is actually quite impressive because they only have 22 medals and 13 of them are gold. So you got to be proud to be if you're a Japanese athlete to be. There's no fans in the stands, which sucks, but at least you're on home soil and you're taking it home, or you're taking the gold home. So props to them. And then ROC, you know what ROC is? That's the Russians, but they can't actually compete under the Russian flag because they got banned from the Olympics for cheating and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all robots.
Yeah. They're like cheaters, and they got ousted for like I think it was like 20 years from the Olympics or some shit.
Yeah.
Like so they can't even do it. Australia, another warm country, they're up there. I'm trying to look at like if there's any like colder countries that are. There isn't. All these countries that are that have any medals.
Well, I mean, Russia.
Russia's so big though,
Yeah, it's
right?
true. Yeah.
It's so big. It's so vast, and yeah, I mean they're always good competitors and whatnot. But you can't even call them Russia. Like I think it was last Olympics they called them the athletes competing. I don't know. There was a weird acronym for who they were.
Well, you can barely call them human.
Yeah, exactly, right? Fucking Russians, eh? No. So yeah, go Canada, go. Hopefully they keep it up. Hopefully we keep adding to the medals, and we will. I know we will, and I can't wait. The big events, they just keep getting more and more intense, more and more like fun to watch, especially when it comes to track and field. So, hoping for a good amount of hardware that we bring back to the Great White North, and yeah, go Canada. And the NHL news, though, we got some huge NHL news. We'll rip the Band-Aid off right now. Our boy, everyone's boy, our cuz, Ethan Bear, traded to the Carolina Hurricanes today for Warren Fogle, a forward. And if you ask me about my initial opinion and response to such a trade, I understand it's a business. He was a fan favorite, obviously. It's sad to see him go. I'm not sure if we could have got any more for him, though. He is young. He only has, I think this was his second full season in the NHL. He was a good defenseman. He wasn't great yet. You could tell that he was young. He had his miscues. as many defensemen do. I thought this upcoming year would probably be his best, but we'll see how he does in Carolina. I wish him all the best. I hope he has a great year for Carolina. Thank God they're not in our conference. Thank God we don't have to see him. We don't have to see him twice a year. Uh, Playing for Carolina. It's gonna be interesting. A cousin going down to fucking Carolina
Yeah,
to go play.
where's Ethan from?
He's from Saskatchewan, and he did everything for the community. And he did just the fact that we had a rally for him, kind of put the ball in motion a little quicker for me as far as this sports broadcasting, because that's where I met that dude from Global News that got me in touch with some other contacts in the industry. And if it wasn't for that rally, and if it wasn't for the Julian, his name, he works for Global. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have such a clear path to this sports broadcasting as I do now. So, I thank Ethan for everything he's done on behalf of all the fans. I thank him for what he represented, and his voice for Indigenous people in the NHL. He did a lot, and I wish him all the best. It's a business. Warren Fogle hopefully fills some depth in our forwards, and that's all you can wish for. We also signed. We may have had a few signings today. Shit. We signed Cody Ceci from the Pittsburgh Penguins. He has experience. I really like that signing. He's gonna again add even more depth to our lineup. We also we re-signed Tyson Barrie, defenseman. Thank God, we needed that because we lost Adam Larson to the expansion draft, which is a huge hole in our defensive end. So we still good.
Yeah.
So we signed Barrie. Who else did we re-sign? We signed. We put qualifying offers to some of our restricted free agents, as in Yamamoto. Hopefully he takes it. We also signed Derek Ryan from the Calgary Flames. He's again another good depth forward, because that's what we need up front. We need players to complement our top two lines. We need people that can actually fucking score, not just McDavid and Draisaitl. We can't just lean on them all fucking year, right? Oh yes, and the big news, Zach Hyman. That's right, his last name Hyman. Signed from the Toronto Maple Leafs. This guy is actually a top six forward, and he can play with either Leon or Connor, or Nuge. Excuse me. And we signed him to a 7-year deal, 5.5 a year, and he could have got more per year. Zach Hyman could have, if he signed a shorter deal. But my understanding is that we wanted to keep cap room, salary cap space, by signing him to a longer deal, right? So the total amount is bigger, but the average annual amount is lower than what he could have got. Like if he signed for, say, 3 years with us or another team, he'd probably could get like $6.5 million or whatever, right? Because he's a really good player. I watched a few Toronto games this year, obviously because of the Canadian division, and yeah, he played well with their top six and their stars. So hopefully he can do the same with us, provide us some more scoring, and that's all we need. So yeah, we signed Derek Ryan, Zach Hyman, Cody Ceci, Tyson Barrie, got Warren Fogle today, and we drafted some kids. First of which was in the first round. I don't know if we had a first round pick. I wasn't watching the draft too closely because we didn't have any high picks. Oh yeah, our 22nd overall, just a kid. Look at this guy. He's just a kid. Look how young that kid is.
Yeah,
I feel so old when I see these kids like get drafted in the NHL. It's like shit. Like, man, getting ancient. Xavier Bourgault 22nd overall to the Oilers from the Shawinigan Cataracts of Cataracta. I don't know. I don't know how that's pronounced. It's in the QMJHL, the Quebec Junior or Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. So they got the weird French names, but French kid picked him up 22nd overall. Oh, that's a nice jersey they have there too. Actually, I like that jersey.
Something.
It's something. You don't like the headdress of homies?
You don't want my opinion on that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So you don't like the Blackhawks logo then?
I think Blackhawks is different.
You think so?
I think Blackhawks is a little more honoring than. I mean, I don't. What's that team called that he's from?
I don't even know how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I mean that one might be okay, but I mean you get sticky when you get and stuff like
I
the
know.
Redskins
It's true.
and stuff.
Well,
yeah.
actually, that brings me to my other point, or another thing I wanted to bring up. The Cleveland Indians of the MLB are officially going to change their name next year to the Cleveland Guardians.
Nice, good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. I thought it was a huge step when they took that red faced motherfucker off their logo. They stopped using that.
yeah,
Which I always thought was fucking hilarious. Like, who looks like that?
yeah.
But now they're actually making a big step and changing their name next year to the Cleveland Guardians.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I also like I really like the name Washington Football Team.
Oh yeah,
I think it's awesome.
that's crazy to me that the Redskins were like left that long.
Yeah,
Like until like 2019
right.
or 2020. It was the Redskins. It was like, what? This is the most fucking blatant
Yeah,
racist shit ever.
yeah. I loved South Park's take on it. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it was
I don't
just
think
so
so.
good. I think Cartman named his team the Washington Redskins.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me this.
And then
or
the
I remember seeing
Redskins
it.
CEO came to Cartman and was like, "You can't use that name. We find it offensive."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you find it offensive, but we don't think it's offensive."
Yeah,
He's like, "But that's our name." And he's like, "Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna use that name too."
yeah. Or no, there was another thing that I seen that was like they flipped it. There was like a team on some TV show or someone made a team where it was like the whatever city it was from. It was like something about like white people, like the White Crackers or some shit.
yeah,
Yeah, just like as a spoof or whatever. But yeah, so good on Cleveland for changing this shit. There was a lot more signings in the NHL, but none of which we're with the Oilers right now. So I mean, I can get into it, but there's no point because I mean, we all have social media. If you really want to look up at your fucking Seattle Kraken's pick and shit, go look it up. I can't believe Vegas got exempt from that fucking expansion draft. That's bullshit. They make the playoffs every year, and then they don't have to give up a player to Seattle. Dude, it's bullshit, dude.
yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. Like, fucking, they just like cater to the people in Vegas because they want to bring in revenue. The NHL does from Vegas fans, which, I mean, it's understandable in a business sense, but like, come on, you got to be fair to the rest of the fucking 31 other teams in the league.
Vegas isn't even going to be a city in like 20 years.
Oh yeah, according to your movie. Okay, so that's NHL news. Well, here we go. Here's what we'll do before we get into the trip. Here, we're gonna do another keyword for all you 3 listeners. I don't know if I should recap the last week's keywords because we have 1, 2, 3. This would be 4. Okay, I'll recap the other 3 keywords just because if you're listening at this point, you deserve them. So the first keyword of the one episode was middle. And then I gave 2 keywords last episode. Top and inside. So those are the 3. This keyword number 4, we'll go outside. Outside. That's your keyword number 4. OUTSIDE. Outside. Again, for a $50 WEM gift card or something of the sort, for the few listeners that I have, I really appreciate y'all listening to me just talk about sports and get my practice in on the mic. So, big news though. Big news. This is the whole point This is the starting points of why we created this podcast in the first place. Instead of going to Montreal, I'm going to Toronto tomorrow morning. I'm fucking excited. I'm going to watch the Jays return to Canada. They haven't played here for 2 years. Going to watch. Try to watch. I tried to buy tickets to the first game on Friday, but they all sold out in like an hour. So I'm gonna go to the box office in Toronto first thing in the morning on Friday and see if they release some more tickets.
What time does the box office open?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think back to when I first went there. Landed at, I think it opened at 10 because I got to Rogers Center around 8-ish, 8:30-ish. So I landed up for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And there was a lot of people there because it was a playoff game though. So I have a feeling this one there won't be as many people. And I mean it's almost as significant though,
Well,
right?
yeah, because they haven't played in 2
They haven't
years.
played. Yeah, so many. And Toronto's such a big city, obviously, and so many of those people there love going to Jays games, obviously,
Yeah,
and they haven't had the opportunity to in years.
I'd say go as early as you can.
Well, yeah, no, I'm going to. I'm gonna set my alarm. Yeah, fucking. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If people are actually like lining up there, if it's anything like last time, they're gonna be there all night. Like people have like lawn chairs, and, like a tent and shit at the front there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna do that.
Well, you got to scope it out, see if they are even doing that.
That's actually
Night
good.
before.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point because I do get there tomorrow, which is Thursday. The game's on Friday, so yeah, I think I will actually do that. That's like right in the heart of fucking downtown Toronto. It's awesome. Cannot wait to go down there. And my boy Kevin's over there too. So I guess he's staying with his dad, and his dad's girlfriend lets him use his car. So he might be able to pick me up from the airport and might be able to cruise around and shit. And he's going to show me all the spots. So I'm super excited. We're gonna do a lot of recording, like video recording and whatnot, and we're gonna like put together like a vlog or like whatever the kids are calling it nowadays, kind of like a montage of the trip. We're gonna chop up all the videos and whatnot. By we, I mean my producer Caleb. Gonna edit it up a little bit. Gave me some cool equipment to record with in T dot, and I'm gonna try to document as much of it as I can. And I'm super excited. The Jays are like just on the cusp of like on the very edge of either being sellers at the trade deadline or going all for it because we are we're only we're nine games back of the division lead, but a little closer in the wild card. But there's so many teams in the wild card race, so I think this homestand we're either gonna make some additions, which I actually think we're going to do. I don't think we're going to be sellers because we have such a good young team. So I think we're going to make a couple additions and putting together a bunch of like a few winning streaks because that's what we need. We need a couple solid winning streaks to get back in the fray, back in the mix of the top teams in the American League. And if we do that in the next, I'd say month, put a couple good winning streaks together, then we'll have a good chance of making the playoffs. And if we do make the playoffs, shit, I'm going back to Toronto to watch a playoff game because the first time I went to Toronto was solely to watch a playoff game, and it was to this day still the biggest sporting event I've ever been to. It was incredible. I'll never forget it. And so go Jays, go! Can't wait to be there. I'm so excited. If I depart tomorrow morning, get there tomorrow afternoon, and I thought I actually had a layover in Calgary, but thank God I don't. It's a direct flight to YYZ, they call it. And yeah, I think my boy's going to pick me up from the airport and he's going to show me around town because he's from there. My boy Kevin, shout out Kevin. He's going to show me around and show me all the good spots. Because the first time I went there, I was just staying downtown and I didn't know anybody. So I was just and I was only there for like, I think 2 or 3 nights. And so this time will be a little bit more. I'll be able to see more of the city and whatnot, and I'll have someone to kick it with and show me around. So I'm super excited for that. Today was a write off for me. wasn't even all there because I was like my mind was already on T dot. But I need this for my sanity. What's the point of slaving away all the time for nothing? So yeah, free agency is continuing in the NHL, but half of these people, most casual fans don't care about. I only care about a couple. Dougie Hamilton left the Yo, Calgary Flames are getting stripped of all their good players, which I'm fucking excited for. Oh yeah, Marc-Andre Fleury got traded. Oh my god. The reigning Vezina Trophy winner got traded to the Chicago Blackhawks, and I guess he found out over Twitter. Kind of fucking show you running down there in Vegas.
Yeah, come on.
Fucking ridiculous.
I don't even know much about that, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, yeah. Like you're supposed to be a professional fucking sports team, and you let your star. That was their first pick in their expansion draft was Marc-Andre Fleury. They made their whole team around the goalie, right? And he's a three-time Stanley Cup champion with Pittsburgh, and he brought Vegas to the fucking Stanley Cup Finals the first year, and then he gets treated like that, gets fucking just like fucking brushed away. Kind of shit is that? So hopefully Vegas shits the bed this year. They probably won't because it's fucking rigged. It's fucking bullshit. But fuck Vegas, the Golden Knights, and go Oilers, obviously. Can't wait for the season to start. Hopefully we'll have a full 82 games. Oh, actually we will. Yeah, the schedule came out, and they actually the NHL made room for the summer or the Winter Olympics because the NHL players haven't competed in the Winter Olympics for a couple Olympics now, and so Connor McDavid hasn't actually competed on that scale yet. So they made room for that. Pretty sure I talked about this in the last episode. So hopefully all the logistics get figured out and NHL players are able to compete against each other in the world's grandest stage, the Olympics. So got the keyword. Write that shit down for you two listeners. I appreciate you listening to This Week in Sports, the newest sports podcast in history. My name's Josh Jacko. My brother Caleb's on the ones and twos. And we shall talk to you when I get back from Toronto. And we'll have a lot of footage from there. Thanks again for listening.